threat of disaster is never pleasant.
Welcome to the Casual Preppers podcast.
These safety measures are essential.
The only place for prepping, survival, and entertainment.
This will be your source of survival instructions and information. Every member of the family must be coached in the business of survival.
Here are your hosts, Cam and Kobe.
Well, happy Thanksgiving, Cameron.
Yeah.
It is the season.
Tis the season.
The holiday season is upon us. We're excited.
I'm thankful for it.
I'm so thankful. Like, I can't wait to get some turkey. We're obviously doing this the day before Thanksgiving because Thursday's usually podcast day.
Yeah. Who's going to be listening to this on Thursday?
I bet you there will be some people.
Yeah, probably.
To be honest
That's
with
true.
you. Yeah, but they're
There's a lot
probably
of traveling.
Yeah, they're going to do some traveling.
Get it out early. Let's get it out of there.
You might be like driving to grandma's right now, listening to us.
Mm-hmm.
What better way to start out your day in Thanksgiving?
And eat some hay.
Yeah. Yay. Cam, what are we talking about on today's podcast?
Well, we thought it'd be fun to talk about some of those pricey prep items that maybe you have on your, to-do list down the road, or something you want to buy, or something you hope someone will buy for you.
Yeah.
So we were going to talk about some of those things that we're interested in, maybe a lot of preppers are interested in, and you just can't quite afford, and maybe you're only working towards one of these, but we figured we'd just throw them in a list of kind of the coolest stuff out there that, kind of those like things you really hope that you can eventually buy, maybe all of them.
Maybe
some of them
all
are
of
out
them.
of reach.
Some of them are, and some of them probably are unrealistic, but some of them are actually realistic.
It's kind of like a little,
but they're more
fun
expensive.
gift list, you know?
Yeah. Or just a wish list.
Yeah.
You know what I
that's a
mean?
good one.
Either way.
Bucket list.
On my wish list, number one is a freaking battle box. Do you know that, Cameron? Because it
Should
is
be on everybody.
The monthly subscription box for men, full of solid gear for adventure seekers, survivalists, outdoor enthusiasts, and casual preppers. Each month, BattleBox sends you the coolest selection of handpicked outdoor survival and everyday carry gear, all valued at far more than what you'd normally pay. You never know what's in the next box, but here is a sampling of what users received this month. The My Medic Hiker Medic Med Pack Medic Pack Med Hiker Med Pack. Cameron. Then the Überleben Stainless Stoker Flat Pack Stove.
Oh, yeah.
Überleben, that's a fun one to say.
That's a fun one.
Überleben. All this badassness starts at just $34.99 per month. They've shipped almost 1 million boxes and won Best Men's Subscription Box of 2017. Our listeners get a free knife when you sign up at trybattlebox.com/casualpreppers. Get your first battle box plus a free knife. And knives, when they are free, they
good.
Taste that much better. You know what I mean? So,
they cut that much faster.
Yeah, exactly. So check it out, BattleBox. Before we move on to listener reviews, Cam, I got a little announcement to make. We got a brand new shirt coming out, and we're excited about it. Cam's excited about it. He's friggin' stoked.
I am. It's a good-looking shirt.
I'm wearing it right now. Cam has his over here on the side of the table, but it's going to be coming out the day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday, for y'all to check out. And one more thing about it is that we're going to have a women's version. Apparently, women's like different types of shirts.
You like different types of holes on the neck.
Yeah. So that is going to be coming out. So watch all the socials, and you're going to get a really fantastic shirt for a good price and support the podcast and all
Somebody
that.
said that the neck holes on men's shirts for women are too tight.
Yeah.
And my wife was like, she's right. She wore like one of my shirts. I'm like,
really?
I don't know what to tell you.
Why are they too tight though? I don't get it. Their necks seem to be smaller.
I don't know. They got to like loop down a little, show some boober.
Oh, gotta get a little bit of that chesticle in there.
I guess so. I don't know.
I don't know. It's real weird.
Yeah.
But there's going to be a version for the ladies.
Yeah,
You
that's
know.
awesome. That's good.
We're excited.
Don't forget about it.
Don't forget about the ladies, okay?
Listener reviews starts now.
Yeah, it does.
All right. 5-star. Informatively down-to-earth information.
Yep.
It's from Canada, right?
Canada.
Yeah. They got my style of humor.
They-
Lots of humor involved, and still learn something from each episode. Mother Russia would be proud.
Yes, they would. Very proud. Thank you, Striker 2526.
Striker.
Striker!
2526.
What's your name? Striker 2526.
It's a cool name.
That is a cool name, Striker.
Yeah, so-
With a Y, too.
Oh, yeah.
Makes it even better.
It's like Utah.
It's a Utah Striker right there. If you guys want to be a part of this portion of the podcast, go to iTunes, go to Facebook, leave us a 5-star review. Make it awesome.
It's a mad, mad world.
Cameron,
Way off.
the season is upon us, the season of snow.
It is.
Did you notice that back there in the East Coast, they got friggin' pounded? Like, pounded.
Yeah, it was insane. Some of the pictures, I'm like,
Oh
holy
my gosh.
crap.
Even Joe Biden took notice. You know, he's like, whoa, hey, it's snowing a lot. He actually approved a federal emergency declaration for 11 New York counties.
Wow.
After historic levels of lake effect snow buried the region over the weekend, the storm set a state record for the most snowfall within a 24-hour period.
Did it really?
Yes. With some parts
That's
of,
insane.
some parts of Erie County getting more than 6 feet of snow.
Wow.
You know how much snow that is?
That's more than 5 feet.
Higher than my head. Right there. That's insane. According to the National Weather Service, by 1 p.m. Sunday, the highest total was recorded in Orchard Park, home to the Buffalo Bills, which saw a jaw-dropping 80 inches of snow.
Maybe I should read that.
80 inches, Cameron.
Man, that would creep me out.
Well, yeah. So anyways, there's an emergency declaration. The Homeland Security's getting involved, apparently. Disaster relief, all this kind of stuff. It's nutty.
It blew my mind when I saw some of the pictures. Like they had some of those like little timeline ones of like somebody's yard. It's like boop, 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 and you can't see the yard.
Yeah, at the end it's just white. There's
I was
nothing
like,
else.
holy cow.
Yeah, man.
I haven't seen snow like that in a long time.
Nah.
So, also a time of year that everybody gets sick, you know?
Oh my gosh, my kids.
Sinus infections.
I can't keep them unsick.
It's super annoying. I hate it. That's the biggest problem.
Yeah.
And there's tons right now. There's flu, there's RSV, there's COVID. If you believe that's I'm just kidding.
5G disease is what I meant to say.
Whatever.
Whatever I want to call it.
And then on top of it, you've got like there's some hand, foot, and mouth. And then aftermath of all these viruses, you get bacterial infections. Mm-hmm. And usually with those, you need antibiotics.
Yeah, those help.
There's a big problem right now, which is super scary. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration declared a nationwide shortage, reporting that several companies say that there's an increased demand for the drug of amoxicillin, primarily. The top 4 manufacturers, which have sold 99.8%, I don't know where the other 0.2% or 3% went, of liquid amoxicillin at retail pharmacies so far this year are having trouble supplying the medicine. So it's primarily the liquid for your little kids.
Yeah.
And that's tough because amoxicillin's like one of the better tasting ones. So it's one of the first ones, and it's like one of the first line antibiotics for most bacterial infections.
Yeah.
But not only that, like here in town, like we had a meeting with urgent care and stuff because a lot of us providers will cover in the urgent care, and we're having troubles getting like 3 or 4 different liquids that are super common. Like
Water?
That one's gone. Liquid antibiotics, amoxicillin, ceftonir, even clindamycin that we kind of use as a backup for really difficult to treat bacterial infections. So,
wow.
Anyway, article by Bloomberg talked about the fragility of antibiotic supply in the United States, and that is a very scary thought.
Yeah,
like
I don't like
if
listening
we
to
have all these infections, we're peaking into pneumonia season. Man, it's just like,
and the young and the old are, disproportionately affected when it comes to that stuff, right?
And so antibiotics are, actually it says right here, the University of Utah's Drug Information Service, which tracks shortages, reported low supplies of 32 antibiotic drugs, including antibiotics, as of September 30th. Antibiotics are 42% more likely to be in shortage in the U.S. compared to other types of drugs. So you may not run out of your blood pressure medicine, but you're going to die of a UTI. So that's terrifying.
Yep.
Anyway, something to think about. And so, what was that company we just barely had send us?
Was it Contingency Med?
Contingency Med,
right?
yeah. That's a pretty good option to consider. Forking out a little money to get you an antibiotic supply stored away because you never know. You never know. And that's what we talk about is stuff you just...
That's what we like to talk about, right?
But anyway.
That's great.
That's a scary deal.
It is super scary. And you get scared, and so you buy preparations. You buy preps to make yourself less scared. And that's what we're talking about today, but we're going to be talking about those ones that you got to fork over a little more dough for.
Yeah.
It's not like...
Let's say you've set aside a good amount of money.
Sure.
We're going to go over some of those.
We're going to go over some, because some of the stuff you want it's just really expensive, and it's out of reach for many people, or it's one of those things that you've got to save up for years and years to kind of get it. So we're going to talk about some of those things. Maybe you'll put them on your list. Maybe you already have them on your list, but we just want to discuss them.
Yeah.
Right?
I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Let's talk about probably the least sexy of them all, but one that I would do because obviously everybody's got to eat.
Yeah.
Everybody got to eat. So we're going to talk about a year's supply of food. I mentioned water, but Kobe's going to go into the water a little bit more. So this would put everyone in an amazing spot if you could buy a year's supply of food.
Yeah.
You just, it would take so much worry out of it.
Dude, I would just, I have a pretty good supply, but it's still something that, like, in the back of my mind, I'm always like, I need more.
You never feel like you have enough.
Yeah.
You just never do.
But if I knew that I had a year for my entire family, I'd be like, I don't need to buy anything
Stored
else.
nicely in a good location. You're like, man, this is going to be great.
I'm done.
Very few apocalyptic events or SHTF are going to kick you out of your home for food storage and stuff like that. So this would be amazing. And then obviously it's what keeps you alive. So building on your 1 year's food supply can be very pricey and it takes a lot of planning. Obviously we've talked about shelf stable foods, short-term storage, long-term storage. I wanted to talk a little bit more about like a longer term 1 year storage because obviously stuff's going to expire quickly in a year if it's not that longer term storage.
Yeah, we're talking about like the 25-year shelf life.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
That's primarily what so there's a really cool website that I found, readysquirrel.com. Has a good breakdown of shelf-stable food to build and how much the costs are. It breaks down like canned foods and how much their average costs are right now. It's pretty cool. But it costs about $5,215 to feed one person for 1 year with canned meats, fruits, vegetables, and other shelf-stable food. That's a lot of money.
Wow, yeah.
So, 5,000 times 5 is a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah.
That would be, there's just no way I could do that without financing it in some way.
No.
I could just clean out my savings
and then it's
that,
over.
And it's not a bad idea, but you never know. It's hard because maybe I won't use this in 25
Again,
years.
you have to be careful when making some of these purchases.
Yeah. So that's the shelf stable food. So it's obviously more. And this was an overshoot of like 2,600 calories per day. So, which is comfortable, which is good.
That's a lot of calories.
Like
to be honest
2,000 calories per day is kind of where they say to shoot for. In a real critical situation where you're rationing, you're probably going to be down to more like 1,500. But anyway, so looking at about 2,600 calories, that's about $5,200 a person, which is crazy. Yeah. Now, onto the 25-year shelf life foods. Roughly the cost to buy this or finance it online, you can do payments or whatever, you're looking at about $3,000 to $4,000 per person.
Yeah.
And this is an 1,800 to 2,000 calorie a day plan. So 5 family members with kids, you're looking at about $15,000.
I mean, that's better than 25 or 30, but it's still a lot of money, man.
Right. It is a lot of money. And it's like, if you don't plan to start integrating that food over the 25 years, you're going to be like, wow, I just blew a lot of money. And
$15,000. Yeah, because you got to figure out a way
and
to
you
use
hope you don't have to use it in 25 years, but
like maybe with 5 years to go, you start to push
like
that
crack
stuff
into that stuff.
It's
exactly.
like, we got to eat.
Got to have a good plan.
Yeah.
90-day survival is about $1,500 with our code. Is about $1,500 a person. But I like it. It comes in all number 10 stackable cans.
I like that too.
And they have, super nutritious foods, which is awesome.
Yep.
The other thing with these 25-year shelf life foods is you usually get like totes or you get waterproof buckets that can be used for other things too. Yeah. Patriot Pantry and Wise Foods and stuff like that. They have some of those little buckets and things like that. I think I got some Patriot Pantry. I got Patriot panties.
Yeah. Wear them every night.
I love those. They're my favorite.
Yeah, comfy.
I bought some Patriot Pantry stuff it's got to be about 5 or 6 years ago. But the nice thing is they come in these nice totes and then everything's individually packaged in little Mylar bags. The long-term storage for 25 years would be like a huge peace of mind. Just know you have that for your family, but it's going to set you back like $15,000.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
But it is something. I mean, in all honesty, it's probably one of the things you should consider more than any of the other stuff because food can get you a lot further.
Yeah. Well, and then I think, this is obviously very, very expensive, but if you do this piece by piece, it becomes more doable, right?
Yeah.
Every year you put $1,000 towards it or something, right? And you're just buying a little bit as you go.
Yeah.
But maybe you just want to buy it all out, right? And be done with it.
It's not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea.
It's not.
Again, peace of mind. And then, like Cam said, along with food comes water. And water has so many different... There's storing it.
You can choke on it. I about
Exactly.
died right before this podcast.
He did, man. He was going hard. It was weird. Obviously we know water is super important, but storing it is so difficult. You can continue to buy like the bottles, but after a while, it's not super efficient to continue to buy bottle after bottle after bottle of water, right?
Yeah.
So what the dream is to me is like a gigantic tank or a cistern for storage. So you just have it there. It's safe. It's stored properly. And you don't have like 9 million different bottles everywhere of water. Not saying that you shouldn't have some of those, but just for the bulk of it, I mean, you need so much water for 5 people, right?
Maybe when you're building a house and
Exactly.
you're pouring your foundation, you can be like, I want an indoor pool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. How do you want this? I just want a pool for water. I'm storing water in it. So
No.
maybe that's the only way to do it.
I used to appraise homes, and I went into several homes where they actually got a cistern in the basement.
That's the best way to do it.
Like built into the foundation, basically, right? And it was like 500 gallons. I was like, oh my gosh, that is so awesome. But again, that's what we're talking about. That's kind of the goal here. This is the Pricey Prep, is getting something like that. So there's a lot of different ways to do this. We've talked about the 55-gallon barrels. Those are great, and they're really not that expensive. But again,
they're not convenient.
They're not convenient.
Like in your house.
Yeah,
you don't have a lot of space.
They're not super convenient. You can get things like water bricks. Those actually, I really, really love water bricks. But again, it comes with cost, and that's why this is
I do like
in
those
here.
a lot too.
You could get, they come in about 3.5 gallons each is what they hold. So if you get 10 of those, it's like $300. I mean, it's not cheap.
No.
Right? It's really not cheap. But again, that's
so
what we're talking about.
organized. They're so nice to store.
Oh my gosh. I really I like those. They're one of my favorites, but they're just so expensive that I can't, justify spending that much money. You can also get things like a 35-gallon horizontal tank, and those aren't too bad. It's like $240 you can find one of those for. Then I found a 320-gallon tank on Amazon, and it was $12.99. Wow. And it's like the big blue tall sucker that you could put in your basement if you've got the room, right? And that's nice because 320 gallons.
How tall was it? Do you know, like 4 feet?
Let me look at it because I got the link here. You can actually click on that and see the link. It's taller than this lady in front of it.
So it's probably 6 foot or something?
Yeah, it might even be like 7 foot.
Jeez.
And let's see if it shows that. Anyways, you can go look through that. But
just wedge it in the basement.
I know, like you'd probably have to
take
because
the sheetrock out.
Yeah, but again, it'd be great to have.
Yeah, it'd be really
320
nice to
gallons,
have.
and you get that big old daddy of the 550-gallon tank.
Whew.
This sucker is basically the cistern. It's $730. You
Way
can get
cheaper
that.
than the other one.
It's cheaper than the other one, but again, it's a different style, right?
Okay.
So this one, you can see the style on this one's a big old white round sucker. It's 550 gallons, thick walled. Thick walled. So anyways.
I like me some thick wall.
But like I talked about, you could get these custom built into your home in a way that's much more convenient for you for storage.
Water beds for everybody.
That's actually not a bad idea. Water beds with a Sawyer Mini coming out the end of the thing, so you just like always filtering it when it comes out.
That would be so nice.
That would be nice, wouldn't it? So you can get custom built ones. There's a lot of different things, but they're going to solve your water problems in a hurry, but it's not going to be a cheap fix.
Cheap, and it takes up a lot of space, but I would like to have a big one.
I sure would too.
Everybody wants a big one.
No doubt.
So I threw this one in there. It may not be the most appealing thing to most people, but the reverse osmosis water filter system,
sure,
they can be really extensive and useful. So reverse osmosis is like the best way to filter water. Like it takes everything out. There's not even water left.
It's just air.
It just comes
Well,
out
it goes
and
down.
you inhale it and you got it.
They take all the H out of it. You just got the O left.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
Yeah.
But there's a couple different systems. There's the tankless system that just connects underneath your sink, and so like your water supply, or you can even hook it right up to your main water supply, and then it passes through into the rest of your house. Problem is it cuts your pressure down a ton.
Yeah.
And so without a tank, you need to have electricity to kind of power it to get you the pressure that you need, so you're not filling up a cup in 7 hours.
Or like trying to get the soap out of your hair and you can't get it out on
It's
the water.
dripping on your
just dribbling.
Come on.
Get that head and shoulders out of there.
Yeah. I got an itchy scalp.
Yeah. The old 5 smell gonna be on there for a while.
But like the water being able to filter out all of that stuff, like it's like, even though we run filters through our fridges and stuff, those filters aren't going to cut out a lot of the like chlorine and salt.
Especially because I don't replace it as much as I should.
I haven't replaced mine once. It's been red for 6 months.
Yeah, it just keep going red, and I just reset it.
It probably is filtering a little, right? I would think.
I'm thinking we're probably getting way more than we need to at this point. It's probably like letting the stuff they filtered before come into your
just
water.
breaking down. You're probably right.
Oh, yeah, it's probably worse.
But the average cost for these systems is roughly about $200.
That's not bad.
It's not out of reach. But there's a lot that goes into it. Like I said, you're going to lose some pressure, and you've got to rely on electricity for some types of them.
Yeah.
The filters aren't very hard to change out. So you can kind of stock up on some of the filters and keep changing it out. It doesn't work with well water because there's just it's too low pressure. You'd have to have a pressure tank or something and pump. But anyway, but the thing is, like, the semi-permeable membrane has a pore size of around 0.0001 microns. Okay. So it allows catching larger molecules and smaller molecules, contaminants, organic material, and even salt. So it's really the healthy way to to have water. The pros, safer than boiling water, which is crazy. Nearly all contaminants are filtered. Yeah. Mineralless water has a lot of other good uses, medically, for cleaning, the thing with like minerals in the water is it breaks down a lot of appliances and things like that. So it's like it's gonna be a little better long term.
Aren't the minerals good for you though?
They are. So that's the con is some of the water minerals you're gonna
miss out on.
Yeah, you're gonna miss out on. So it's just a cleaner water that like it's super filtered and super clean that can be used for medical uses. Clean.
Awesome
that was the
water.
thing. It's just awesome water. Probably tastes terrible.
Oh yeah.
But the cons, you need water pressure. It's not ideal for wells, and then the other thing is that it wastes a lot of water too. To filter out, it dumps a lot of good water.
That makes sense.
Drinkable filter water that you could probably still use. And then the maintenance can be high. So I only put it on there because I've really considered doing it. We had one growing up, and look at me.
Peak physical condition.
Skin's good.
Yeah.
I'm freaking all kinds of other.
My belly don't work great, but everything else tip top.
Nah,
Kidneys working like champs.
I don't have fingernails because minerals have been lacking.
Haven't had tooth enamel in 37 years, but everything else was great.
Exactly. It's great. But no, they're just kind of instead of like changing out what are the fridge filters, like 3 months? If
it seems like
these are like 6 to 12, so it's just a longer, more efficient water system.
I like that.
Anyway,
we talked about food. We talked about that long term.
Man,
long term.
Got cam disease today.
Well, it's the change in time, man. My brain's not ready for it yet. We're doing this at 9:30 instead of 11:30. We talked about food and long-term food storage. You've got to have that, right? And we talked about how it can be expensive to go out there and just buy that 35-year or 25-year shelf life stuff. It gets expensive. Another option is buying your own freeze dryer.
I'd love to.
Or dehydrator, right?
I've wanted to.
I have too. It's something that I've looked at several times. But it kind of puts you in control of the food that you store as well, right? And it's probably in the long run, it's going to save you cash. In the short term, boy, it's expensive. Yeah. It's not a cheap thing to do. And this is why I keep going, I want to do it, but it's a lot of money, right? So Harvest Right is probably the most popular one out there. It's the one that most people go to. And so I went and looked right now. They've got like 3 different models that range anywhere from $2,400 to $3,400.
Expensive.
Yeah, I mean, they're not cheap, right? But again, it puts you in control. Like you can freeze dry food that you eat every day.
That's what I do. Like, because I've gotten a lot of freeze dried stuff that I'm like, that was terrible.
That wasn't great, right?
And so it's like, You can just get all the stuff that your kids like too.
Exactly. A lot of people, what they'll do is they'll make dinner. They'll eat dinner.
I've seen that too.
Whatever's left over, they freeze dry it and put it
I wonder
in.
how well that tastes.
I don't know. That's what you do though. That's what the freeze dry does. That's what it's for. They freeze dry that food.
It's not just specifically making a meal for the freeze dryer.
Yeah.
You're like just
Yep.
Yeah.
You can pretty much freeze dry anything. So it's a great way to
I feel
go.
like you'd look like Doc on Back to the Future. We're just dumping like orange peels and stuff on it. Or freeze drying it.
Just put everything in there. It's a goulash.
Just underneath your dining table.
Just scrape
Kids,
everything
just whatever,
off.
just put it under there and dump it in.
Yeah. Banana peels, that's fine. Freeze dry.
You might like it, I don't know.
Calories, all right? Calories.
Crayons and stuff going into it.
Forks and spoons.
I don't know. Apparently you can freeze dry it all.
Napkins. Whatever. Get it
We'll
in
have
there.
the same meal exactly in 5 years from now.
Take it all out, unfreeze dry it.
It's all set up.
You've got everything.
Looks like today. It's crazy.
Freeze dry the silverware,
Take your shirt off, put it in there.
the
I
kitchen
want to be
table.
wearing the same stuff.
Yeah, baby.
I want to relive this day. Freeze dry everything.
Salt, pepper, water, ice water. Put the ice water in there. I want ice water when I come back.
Just dumping pills and stuff. I want it all. The same stuff.
We're going to add a little extra nutrients. Put some Flintstone vitamins in there.
Increase the vitamin content.
Yeah, you got to think. You got to be efficient. You got to think about
Don't be
these things.
dumb about this. Be smart about it.
Yeah. Hell, we're the smartest
Somewhere in
preppers
the
on earth.
freezer.
Good Lord,
It's
we're
in the
smart.
freeze dryer book somewhere. I saw it.
Yeah, maybe that was a different book. I don't know. But anyways, you can buy those obviously 2,400 to 3,400, and I'm sure there's like industrial sized ones.
Yeah.
Go up all to 1,400,000 probably.
Freeze dry yourself.
Freeze dry my damn house in case a hurricane
How many
comes.
things are getting bad? Get in there.
I want to make sure I got you for later on.
It'd be
Freeze dried wife. No salt added.
How many oxygen absorbers you got to put in there?
How many think you need, babe? Yeah, but you're also gonna have to purchase the accessories. So you got to get like trays and bags, oxygen absorbers, vacuum sealers. Man,
That sounds like a lot.
and that's not like a vacuum. Like it's a different thing. Okay, so but you can also get food dehydrators. Not quite as good as a freeze
yeah, I
dryer.
remember those growing up. It's like 17 trays high.
Make jerky in there and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
It'll be done next year.
Yeah, when you're 28, those will be ready to go, babe. Get out to elementary school.
Seems like it took forever.
Yeah, it did.
My mom's like, we're going to make fruit roll-ups. I'm like, sweet.
Yeah.
And you can have them when you go on your mission and you're 18. I'm like, oh.
When you have grandkids, they'll be ready.
Still down there collecting dust. just
Yeah.
Running.
But you can get one of those for like 450 bones.
Yeah.
you know?
I think so. I heard air fryers can work as like a dehydrator.
Really?
Yep. Never tried it.
I
But it says in
have
there-
an air fryer, but I don't dehydrate
It says,
anything
yeah, it
with
says
it.
you can do that. Oh.
Weird.
Yeah. So many things. The more you know.
Technology, man.
Yeah. It's getting out of control.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
So we're going to move on.
Yeah,
to
we are.
Maybe growing your own food. How's that?
Hell yeah.
I love that.
For sure.
I've actually wanted a greenhouse for a long time.
Yeah, for sure. Me too.
But I look at building one, I'm like, nah, I ain't doing that.
I know. I'm the same way.
I'm like, that'd be so nice.
Yeah.
I don't have time.
Is
But
there one in my backyard? No, there isn't. I'll probably never have one.
I know. So, but there you go. You can grow food all year long.
Yeah.
Fruits, vegetables, spices. Mary Jane, maybe. You can grow that. It's a lucrative investment during the SHTF.
Could be.
Yeah. But it's also like a hot spot for looters.
That's true.
They're going to go straight to those greenhouses.
Literally, it's hot too. It's warm.
Yeah, it's true. But you've got a sustainable food supply year round
Yeah.
if you have heirloom seeds and you know what you're doing. You have a good green thumb and you got to build a good one. But
Okay.
these can be really like the aquaponics can be a really it is a complex system. Like,
Man, I don't understand.
I'm not even going to talk about it. It's too confusing.
Never mind. Let's talk about it.
Anyway, I couldn't even say the word.
Yeah.
But these systems are like a fish tank, and it pumps through all the nutrients and poop and stuff up in to feed the plant beds.
Do you put fish in it?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
the good systems have like fish and you're feeding them and they're poop and stuff, that water's being cycled through to feed the plants and then goes back into the fish. And then you eat the fish and the plants.
Wow.
Yeah. Those are like the really like self-sustaining systems. But man, the cost to build a small one that'll roughly grow like 100 to 115 plants, which is a lot.
Yeah.
But they're little small, little small plants. Like looking back.
Baby plants.
You can get like one berry a year.
Worth it.
But it's about $4,500 for a small build.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
That better be a good berry.
Better be good fish. Yeah, have all that stuff.
$4,500.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess you got to look at that as a long.
But it's like,
investment.
but you're growing your own stuff,
Yeah.
Greenhouses, they're a lot cheaper to build.
Okay.
Mostly. There's a bunch of different styles. There's like the loop styles. It's like it looks like a garage, and you just throw over the plastic sheeting.
Kwanzaa hut type looking thing.
Yeah,
yeah.
They cost about $5 to $10 per square foot.
If I make a real small one, it ain't gonna be that expensive.
No, 1 square foot, you're done.
I got enough in my wallet.
I'm growing berry in there. Get out.
There's my berry. My berry
Got
plant.
one corn stalk in there, kids.
Yeah.
Don't even go in there.
I'm very excited about it.
A frame style or geodesic type. They're the ones that look all like
the Epcot Center.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
That's right.
They're about $25 per square foot, but a little more durable, and you can usually get a bigger,
Well, and they look
greenhouse.
cooler.
They do look cooler. It
Yeah.
look like you know what you're doing.
Hell yeah.
Rooftop greenhouse. If you have a rooftop that's flat and on top of a skyscraper, about $25 per square foot.
Okay.
The other, several other types, but on average, you're looking about $20 per square foot to build
It's
one.
not horrible.
It's not horrible.
It's not.
You can buy like pre-built kits, which are pretty
like
cool.
that.
There's a $500 glass one that you can get on, what's that?
Amazon.
Wayfair.
Oh, Wayfair.
Wayfair has one.
Yeah.
It's like a 6x4. And it's an A-frame, and it's like plexiglass. But
6x4.
It's not very big.
It's tiny.
It is, but you could get started, and you could really see if you want to expand.
All right.
And these are like the freestanding ones,
Yeah.
not built onto your house or
Okay.
anything like that. Or you can just get a transparent drape type, like it's a 10x10.
Yeah.
Probably not as good for harsh environments like where we live and stuff
Yeah.
like that, but they're about $300. So
I don't
there's
know
a
if you
lot
thought
different-
about like that, dollar store shower curtain thing we were talking about.
thought about it. I did for a minute.
Yeah.
But there are ways you can build them, like wood frame and stuff like that. You can probably get a pretty decent size that's worth the time for around $1,000. But
It's not bad.
there's a lot of cool options out there. And
Heck
so
yeah.
if you want to grow your own food in all temperatures, you can get one.
I like
And
that.
Go do that.
Greenhouse aquaponics.
Yeah.
I like it. Maybe you want a greenhouse, but you just don't have the space. You know what I mean? Because that can become an issue. You live in an apartment. Where do you put your damn greenhouse?
Yeah.
Out in the garage
Right.
area? I don't know.
Yeah.
Back by your storage unit? It's hard to do that. So maybe you need some friggin' land. That is like,
want land.
that's one of the ultimate prepper dreams, is to have that land out in the middle of nowhere that you've got set up for your ultimate bug out location, right? Oh my gosh. It's what I want. It's what I need.
Me too.
Okay. But land is great because obviously it's a great investment. Ask any investor.
Always.
Ask
Always.
any economist. They're like, invest in real estate, land, right? It's like, it's always worth something. And usually the value rises, right? It rises. And it's also gives you a place to live if you need it. And that's a great thing.
There's
You gotta-
dirt there.
There's dirt there. You've got
growing
trees, maybe you got weeds, you got sagebrush. I don't know. You got a lot of stuff. And it's great because you can set it up how you want for recreation, for hunting, all these different things. It could actually be used as like a second income source.
Yeah, it can.
possibly. You can raise animals out there. You can hunt out there. You can do agriculture, rentals. There's so many different things you can do with land. Here's the kicker, though. This is a big investment.
For sure.
Like, it's not one of those, I think I'll run down to Walmart, give me some bug out land today. This stuff is expensive. And depending on where you purchase this, it's even going to be more expensive. So this is definitely a pricey prep. And it's not one of those things that's necessary as a prepper.
Exactly.
It's not necessary, but it's
It's on my list
It's
of
definitely
things
on
I
my
would
list, too.
love to have
I always keep my eyes open, but I just never find any good
we
deals,
do too.
man.
We kind of keep looking.
Maybe we just need to go in together. And
Kinda
buy us,
have to,
buy
probably.
us, buy us 10 acres somewhere together.
Yeah. Put on a nice 4x6, a little greenhouse on it.
Oh, hell
right in the middle.
A fish tank, you know,
Yeah, that sounds so good.
shower curtains. And,
Yeah.
oh,
I like that.
I like it. But anyways, land, that's definitely a pricey prep, and it's one that I can't really give you a price there.
I
Because
can't imagine many preppers that don't have this on their list of like,
Yeah.
eventually I'd like to have.
And this
a
is like one
location.
that a lot of people actually do have. Maybe they had their home and they have 5 acres or
Yeah.
10 acres with their home. That's fantastic. But many of us do not have that.
Yeah.
Many of us live in, suburbia where we've got 0.3 acres in our home.
Or they sell a quarter of an acre for $55,000.
exactly,
You're like in the
yeah.
middle of like 2 industrial buildings. You're like,
That ain't going to be a great bug out location.
no, it's got a bunch of oil poured on it from like the companies next to it. You want to buy that? So going kind of along with this,
Yeah.
cattle, ranch, livestock, like a place that you can raise and buying animals is kind of part of this.
Yeah.
I looked at a few different. I was like kind of looking around the country. I went on a little flight, just kind of check some things out.
Yeah.
You can buy like complete like ranch and ranch house in certain locations, like 50 to 100 acres. Depends greatly on where it is.
Oh,
but
yeah.
man, there's some good ones in some locations in the middle of nowhere.
Yep.
And you've seen that, like
Believe me.
Georgia and stuff like that. Like there's a 250 acre spot in Georgia. It looks amazing for $844,000.
Oh, I could.
But
find
it
one
didn't
cheaper
have
than
anything
that.
on it. You know, you'd have to build. But
I found some like on 10 acres with a barn and a bunch of stuff like in Kansas.
Yeah,
like
that's actually
$150,000.
Yeah.
It's
I found one with
ridiculous.
a huge home and like a ranch set up and all that stuff, like all the buildings that you'd probably need. For I mean, it was like 900,000, but it was like already ready to go.
Yeah.
And that was in Wisconsin. But anyway,
Okay.
so we already talked a little bit about the land thing.
Sure.
It'd be awesome. The other thing is like cattle. Having your own herd of Black Angus, that would be amazing.
It
I
really
would
would.
love to do that.
Yeah.
But there's a lot that goes into that. There's a lot of cost and there's a lot of machinery and there's a lot of work.
Dude,
So
there is so much. I recently, well, I guess it was a year and a half ago, for my day job, we did a short documentary, like a docu-series on some cattle ranchers here in
Oh, yeah,
Neola.
you did, huh?
Yeah. So basically, I got to watch their whole, how they go, and they're just like a cow-calf operation.
Much work.
They birth the calves and then they sell them, and it's like there is so much to it.
Yeah.
And it's like it's amazing they make money.
that's the thing. That's the thing. with
It's
it.
crazy.
It would be amazing to have them for food and whatever,
Yep.
you know. And cattle, looking at like just buying a cow, you're looking about $700 per cow per year of like owning one cow.
Yeah.
And the other thing is like the nice thing, cattle, they're not picky eaters, but they'll typically consume about 40 pounds of feed a day.
That's
This
a lot.
means that if hay was priced at about $65 per ton, which I think it's a lot more than that right now, this could translate to about $1.40 per cow per day, just for food. So it's like you got to balance out this. Like these ranchers and stuff have had the system going forever, so they know where to to be efficient and to make money on cattle.
Yeah.
But man, I'd love to just buy into it. You're just
That'd be
like,
so awesome.
I got all these cows and everything's set up in a way that it just works for you. But the cost, the cattle, the machinery, the actual home, the power, the water supply out to the cat, like it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I grew up on a dairy farm and it's funny. I listen to people who are like, man, I just wish I could just have a farm and raise animals. And they do it like in a suburban environment.
Yeah.
And, you know, and they're like, man, I just wish I had bigger. And I'm like, go ahead. Like
Good
it
luck.
is so much work.
Yeah.
But it would be awesome. I'd love to have like bees and horses and goats and pigs and all that stuff. But that would be your life. Like you really,
That's everything.
you're tied to it and you barely make ends meet half the time. There's a show that came out on Amazon. I think it's been out a little while, but have you seen, you know, the guy on Top Gear, the British guy, he left it after a while, but he has a series where he like buys his farm over in the UK.
Oh, really?
He buys a tractor and all that stuff, and just watching all the I'm like, he thinks he's retiring buying this farm.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're gonna work harder than you probably ever
Oh,
have worked.
yeah, man. It's not easy work.
But anyway, I would still love to have some livestock of some sort.
I agree.
Just to like have stuff for the kids to do and chores and to work hard. Be American, be freaking amazing. But
Yeah, not no communist.
No,
I'm an American.
Maybe raise some huge bunnies and sell them to Korea.
Yeah, they like them over there.
They love those giant rabbits.
Yeah. That's good. No, that's a great pricey prep there, man.
Yeah,
for sure. The next one it's a dream. It's like 1,000% one of my dreams, and that's the bunker.
Me too.
And then we're also talking about like a storm shelter as well, because some places you need a storm shelter. You don't necessarily need it, but boy, is it nice to have. Back in Tornado Alley and all that kind of stuff. But this, oh man, building or owning a bunker or storm shelter in your home, obviously there's great benefits here. If you live in Tornado Alley, like I said, having a storm shelter, boy, I don't know if I could live there without one. I'd be too scared, I think. Having a concealed bunker under or near your home obviously gives you so many options when SHTF hits. Right, you have just a lot more options, and you can survive a lot more crazy events if you've got a bunker. And it's like they're not necessary. You don't absolutely have to have one.
Exactly.
But they are insanely expensive, and there's a lot of different ways you can go about it. You can go full custom, and if you want to go like a full custom bunker, like the price is very wildly. You could be insane amounts of money, right? But you can go with some pre-built options, and that's kind of what I was looking at, just to kind of give everybody an idea of what it's going to cost to get something like this, right? When you go to the internets and you type in survival bunkers, really usually the first one that comes up is the Atlas survival.
We had a
shelters.
bunker episode, it's like 42 or something,
a long time
back.
Ago. Yeah,
but we talked a lot about these.
Probably need to do another one. It's been long enough that we probably need to do that. So if you go to Atlas survival shelters, their platinum series, it starts at $300 a square foot, and it kind of just goes up from there. Right, and so
what's the cost for building right now? It's got to be,
I don't know,
around that or more for like houses.
Yeah, it's probably it. Yeah, depending on where you're at. They also have like those culvert pipe styles. Those just like a gigantic pipe. Those
are pretty cool. I think
they are cool. So you can those run anywhere from $35,000 installed to $85,000 installed total price. So like they're not
completely out of the question.
$85K. There's no way I'm doing it. I mean, but again, if you look at that, that's like a car.
I was going to steal one of those pipes they're putting in the canal.
I know.
Those are huge in my yard.
Yeah.
Bury it.
They ain't going to see it. I'm going to get it at night. Yeah.
We're missing about 50 feet. I don't get it.
What happened?
Pretty sure we calculated it right. I should have paid one of those truckers.
Yeah.
You know what?
$50, they probably would have dropped it in your backyard. They're probably not getting paid enough.
Kids playing it for a year, and then you finally bury it and make a bunker.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you can get those culvert styles, but then there's another company called Rising S Company. Yeah. They have like these 8x12 mini bunkers. And so man, those are like $45K up to $182K.
Yeah, they make some pretty cool stuff.
They're way cool, but good gracious, you can get expensive with those things. But gosh, would that not be awesome? I would go into my bunker every night and probably just like read down there.
That's the thing.
Like 100% would be my hangout spot.
Honey, I'm heading home. And then she called. She's like, "You called me an hour ago." Oh, I'm in the bunker. I'm
in
sorry.
the bunker. Have you seen? There's a guy like on TikTok or something that built his own bunker underground.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You should check it out because it's really interesting. But it's like a man cave down there, basically.
That's what I would probably build.
And then we talked about those storm shelters. If you're living in Tornado Alley or if you're worried about storms, you can purchase a basic one. I don't know if you've seen these, but you can get 6 people in them. Basically, you sit next to each other, like in a circle. You sit there.
I still would kind of like one.
I would too. 100%. 6 people in there, you can get it from around $5K.
Wow, that's not bad.
No, and Lowe's actually carries a storm shelter, and it's like really? $4,800. But it's one of those where you sit down. You sit there and you just wait out the storm. Like you're not doing anything else in that thing. The pictures of like the people in there, they look so awkward because they're just like staring at the person across from them. Hope this storm passes quick.
This ain't a week. It's going to be terrible.
I don't know where we're going to take a dump, but it's going to be awkward anywhere we do it.
Everybody turn that way.
Everybody turn to your left. I got to take a dump, and I had Taco Bell with my last meal, so it's going to get wild down here.
This is the first thing. Everybody get in there and be like, it's like, no, I'm sorry. There's no filter.
No ventilation. Good luck.
Those aren't crazy though.
No.
It would be so cool to have that. I'd probably just put like a bunch of food storage in mine.
I know, yeah.
Can't even crawl in there, but it's all stored in a nice place.
Yep.
So with your home itself, one thing I've always wanted, but man, the salespeople drive you nuts.
Oh, I hate them. They're the worst.
So solar-powered home systems, they would be it'd be so amazing to have that.
Yeah.
But there's so much that goes into it. But solar panels are more efficient, affordable, and environmentally friendly than they've ever been. You get a 26% federal tax credit, which makes no difference. That makes solar even more attractive for investors. But the thing is, the average cost, depending on, there's a lot of factors. The direction that your house and your roof sits, the state you're in, the positioning. You're looking at around, for a whole solar system that could power your home, but may even still need the assistance from, the power grid. You're looking at about 15 up to about $35,000.
That's a lot, dude.
It's a lot of money. The typical American family spends about $1,500 a year on electricity. So being able to shave that off would be nice, but it would take you a long time to make up the difference for the solar panels.
It takes some time.
But if the power grid goes down, that's the thing.
Yeah, you've got something.
You still have power. And so there's a lot of pros to have it, but it can also increase the home value. Do you know if it does? Did you...
It can. It depends on where you're
little?
at. A lot of times, you're not going to get much value for something like that. But
I know you appraised. I was wondering if there was that much.
Depends on where it's built and what the norm is in the area.
So, putting solar panels on your home versus finishing a basement, which one's going to
finishing the basement?
It will. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, anyway, but it can increase your home value a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
But the thing is, that's the ultimate prepper dream, right? Is to have. To live off the grid.
Yes.
I would love to eliminate all those stupid bills.
Be beautiful.
But it comes at a huge cost. And to make up that difference in the long term.
Like a power Nazi.
For one, you've got to stay in that house for 30 years.
Yeah.
So.
I hate the electric bill, man, because I feel like it's something that we can affect, but my family doesn't give a crap about it. Nobody cares but me.
I know.
It's like, no, we leave that heater on out in the garage for the cats, but we also leave the door open. I'm like, what? We are dumb people. We're dumb people. We're dumb.
It's just
and
the
I can't
American
say anything.
family. We just use a ton of energy.
Why are we doing this?
Mine frustrates me too. In the summer, because for one, I can't sleep. So I'm a energy hog because I have to run the air conditioner.
I do too.
And then you get those things. It's like your neighbor's using $25 a month, and you're using $600 a month.
Yeah.
So you're like, yeah, right.
F you.
But anyways, that would be nice. I'd like to have that backup system that's powered and charged daily. That would be great.
Yeah, I found when I was looking at generators and stuff, I found this it said complete home solar and battery kit, and it was like $3,000.
What?
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean,
that might be just some
backup,
lightly stored backup power.
So it was basically like 2 batteries. You know, they look like 2 car batteries.
Yeah, so there are those systems.
You can get those
like a shed, and then it'll charge like car batteries. Yeah, and you can run for a little while. But this one.
That's like the full home.
This one's
legit.
Running all of your power every day off from a solar system.
Yep. You're going to have more. But I think, if you wanted to just do like a little backup or something.
Start throwing some panels up for, over the years.
Who knows, though. But again, like that solar powered thing, that's a dream. The next one is like the total home generator / battery backup. Wouldn't you love to have one of those that are installed, generator that's hooked up to everything so the power goes out?
I've wanted one of those for so long.
That thing kicks on.
I always look at them at Lowe's and stuff. I'm like, man,
that'd be beautiful. But boy, is it not cheap. It's not a cheap thing to do, right? Most of us, like me, I'm just like, well, I'm just going to have to rely on my little,
we're all going to sit in one room, watch a laptop.
Yep, that's just, because it's easy, it's relatively inexpensive, and you can get by with it most of the time, right? And so, but if you want to go all out and you want to purchase that home generator system, it's going to run you anywhere. And it really depends on the size of your home, your
what you
usage.
want to run, how much you want to live.
Yep. You can start at around 5K for something like that, but it goes all the way up to 25 to 30K.
It'd be so nice, though.
Oh, my gosh. Would it be wonderful?
On our farm, my dad has a huge... he has a huge generator for welding.
Yeah.
And we would just hook it up to the house when the power would go out. And I was like, this is awesome.
So
everybody else is in the dark.
Yep, exactly.
I could still play Nintendo.
Yeah, so that is definitely a pricey prep, but boy, wouldn't that be a great backup. But you have to determine here, what's the fuel type and how are you going to run it? How are you going to store all that fuel. Cam's going to talk about this later, but is it going to be propane? Is it going to be natural gas? Is it going to be gas? Is it going to be solar? There's so many different options there, and each one of those comes with their own issues of trying to store the fuel or get the fuel or long-term storage of the fuel. It can be a problem. So, but anyways, that $5,000 to $25,000 if you're going to get that home generator totally set up,
I'd so love
ready
that,
to
though.
go. Yes.
I'd love that probably more than the solar would be really nice. Like if you're not comparing across.
Yeah,
but that one's always going to work for you.
It is.
This time of year, you're going to go online. You're going online for Black Friday. I'm being very careful with what I say.
Yeah.
Black Friday to shop for that amazing gift for your loved one.
Yeah, like this T-shirt.
Yeah.
This shirt.
There's going to be ads
shirt.
popping up. You're going to go to weird websites, and you're going to possibly get your identity stolen. You don't want that to happen.
No.
Or you're going to be traveling a lot and using the internet at the airport and things like that. There's only one way to protect yourself.
Yeah.
And it is a Surfshark VPN. And it can protect you, all your devices, any of them, your family members, all that stuff can sign in. I'm saying that as your immediate family.
Yeah.
Don't share it.
Yeah.
But it's the only way to go gray man online and shield all of your information from websites, online services, public Wi-Fi. And it's so easy to use. You don't have to worry about malware, phishing, obnoxious and unsafe email ads, or accidentally clicking an ad, because you're basically going online as if you were in Afghanistan or something.
Perfect.
You can connect to a server. They have so many servers across the world. The thing right now, like if you're a World Cup fan, I'm using my Surfshark connecting to a server in London, and then I watch the BBC iPlayer and watch the World Cups.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Games. It's so awesome. You can do that with all kinds of different. You can watch all their movies and things like that from different streaming services. So you don't only get protection, but you're getting entertainment benefit.
That's beautiful.
Right now, they do have a Black Friday sale that's 84% off, and you get 2 extra months. So you get 27, 3 extra months. You get 27 months for.
Still use our code, right?
Right now, I think it's the same, but
use our code.
Put our code in there. It helps us.
Yes.
Or if you're going to do the Black Friday sale, put in the comments. Casual Prepper sent me.
Perfect.
But honestly, all the time you can use our code, and it'll give you 83% off, and you will get. I mean, this is less than $250 a month. It's like $220 a month. You get 60. You get 27 months for $60. You're not going to beat this. And I use it all the time right now. I've actually been using it for the cup. I use it when I travel. I've been using it during this season shopping. So it's the best way to do it. If you don't even know how to use it or what it is all about, you can try it for 30 days, risk-free, money back. Go to surfshark.deals/casualpreppers.
Nice.
This is a great time. This is the best time to get this thing. You can even gift it if you want.
Oh, yeah. Perfect. Like it.
But not having to worry about it.
Don't have to.
But don't have to worry about it.
Don't have to worry. You just do it and you don't worry at all.
Surfshark, and you don't have to worry.
Surfshark's so good.
But man, 27 months. I repurchased it after it expired because I'm like, it's so nice having that and knowing, I'm like, for the next 2 years, I don't have to worry about buying another one.
Exactly. So we talked about the generator, Cam. And one of the big issues with a generator is storing the fuel.
It is.
Right?
So one of the things I've always wanted, and I've looked at it for the last couple of years, and I regret not buying a propane tank for backup fuel storage.
Yeah.
Because the tanks have gone up a ton.
Have they?
They're like 100. It's like when I was looking, it was like $110 for I think it was 100-pound propane tank at Lowe's or 100-gallon. They're 175 now.
Oh, wow.
And they might even be 200 now. But anyways, I would love to have a huge propane tank as backup fuel, because propane, for one, it stores almost forever. It's like 40 years or more it stores, and it can be used. It's clean, it's safe. It can be unsafe, but for the most part, it's a safe fuel. And it's super versatile. Like, you can use it in generators, cooking appliances, camping, heating. You can convert your vehicles to use it. Like, it's just it's way easier than gasoline to store.
Yeah.
And more, like, a lot more things use it. Tanks are a little pricey. Like I was saying, 100-gallon, you're looking at $175 or more for is it 100 pound or 100 gallon?
Gallon.
It's gallon, right? The average cost of a 500 gallon above ground propane tank starts at about $1,500.
Yeah.
So, in a lot of houses, I mean, I'm sure listeners probably run on propane.
Yeah, there's a lot that do.
So, and I would love to have that system that you can just keep filling up your small tanks for uses for barbecuing and all that stuff. An underground 500 gallon tank is about $1,800. And then 1,000 gallon tank's going to run you around $3,000.
Yeah.
Not to mention all the pipes and fittings and settings and stuff like that. Like you gotta, and then having it refilled. The fuel itself probably costs you $3,000.
Yeah, that's no good.
We use a 500 gallon one on the farm, and like one of our dump trucks is converted to propane.
Oh, nice.
But we use that. We fill up our camper ones all the time from it. It's just they have so many uses. In propane, you know when it's leaking, you know when it's like trying to kill you.
Very obvious. Yeah.
And so I kind of like it for that. And then it's not as expensive as like gasoline and stuff. So pretty cool system. I would like to have a nice full tank of it in my yard, but
yeah,
I mean, it's not out of reach, and it's something you could do. So think about it.
And just keeping, again, it comes back to the thing in the winter. Like, how do you keep your home warm
Exactly.
if something goes wrong? Like if the electricity goes out, or if the gas lines are gone for some reason, broken or whatever, how do you continue to heat your home? And that's one of the things that I worry about. Like,
Me too.
It's one of my big worries living in Utah, because it gets so damn cold here for 5 months out of the year. It's freezing. And so one of the things I've had on my list for a really long time is a wood burning stove. And it's not necessarily insanely expensive, but it's expensive enough that I just haven't pulled the trigger yet, right?
Yep. I guess I should have mentioned like the catalytic converters and the buddy heaters. They're all propane.
Yep, they're propane. Yep. And that's why I've got one of those. And I figure, if it comes down to it, we get in one room and we put that heater on and we're warm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But another way to go about it is a wood burning stove. It's that way, if you don't have power, you don't have gas, you can still keep everybody warm. And so
I've tried so many ways to figure out how to put it in my house, but it's hard when your house is done.
Yeah, I mean, you can do it. You just got to pay somebody to do it because it's got to be done right. Like, you can't just half-ass it and try and get your house will burn down.
Yeah.
You got to have somebody do it.
Venting and stuff.
Yeah.
It's tricky.
So you can have a permanent wood stove installed, or you can purchase the mobile temp stove. Cam and I have looked at several of these.
They're so cool.
They're really cool. They're usually built for wall tents and yurts and things like that and camping. But they have these kits that you can convert it into a window in your home.
Yeah, you just slide it in almost like those little those fans that you put in your window in the summer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so you can put it in your home temporarily if needed, and you can keep. Really, some of them you can keep most of your home warm. Yeah, depending on.
I wanted to just put one in the garage.
Yes,
keep my garage warm, and probably save me a ton of power.
So you can get one of those starting at around $400. Even cheaper, some of them, and some of those even have little ovens on them.
Oh yeah,
you remember the one that
There's
had the oven in the stovepipe,
and it has that little oven.
So it gives you quite a few different things. But if you want to go ahead and just get a permanent wood stove installed in your home, so this again is a big varied cost because of the home, because of the size or the how nice the stove is. But it's anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 to get something like that done. Again, that's just big enough. No, it's not crazy, but again, it's big enough that you go, it's a lot of money that I could use on other things. So. Yep. But boy, I would feel so good if I had a wood burning stove. But then again, you have to make sure you've got wood there. There's a lot of other things that come along with that, but it just gives you another option in those cold winter months to keep yourself warm.
Yeah. I'd love to have one.
Me too.
I tried to look at doing it when we were finishing our basement, and it just couldn't figure it into the plans. Plus, the cost for finishing my basement jumped a ton. I was like, "Yep, I'm just gonna have to die.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to get more blankets.
We're going shiva." Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Another thing, and I hate to be the one to talk about this because I've been
I'm glad
shamed.
that you got it.
I know. I was like, gosh, dang it. But I really would, and I know that I may sound like a hypocrite here, but I would like to have a really nice radio setup.
Yeah.
One, you've got your FRS and GMRS radios that are affordable solution for most, $35 for the GMRS license and stuff like that. And that's the most practical way for most people, and it's going to work quite well. But
we have some GMRS, didn't you get some recently?
Yep. They do. They work pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm illegally using them sometimes.
Yeah.
But the what I'm talking about here is like a really nice ham radio setup.
Yeah.
Because I mean, those suckers can reach across the freaking planet.
Yeah.
And so the equipment itself has a huge price variation. It will depend on your location, the seller. Most importantly, it'll be influenced by brand name, reliability, overall quality of products. Those from popular brands will cost more, but the price that most are willing to pay because they want it to work when it needs to work.
Yeah.
You're looking for the equipment itself. You're looking roughly between $800 and $1,200 for a really nice setup for radios.
That's
It
not,
may
like,
it may even
insanely
be
bad.
way worse than this, but I mean, from all I could see with like the radio, you're looking at $100 to $200. The trans receiver, you're looking at $500 to $600. The antenna, $25 to $50. Power,
And I'll
source,
bet you that these could vary.
A lot of this was like, look at secondhand stuff.
Yeah.
Like, because most of it's going to work quite well.
Yeah.
But the power system is going to be 100 to 150, and then connectors 25 to 50. And then you've got to look in, you've also got to consider licensing and exam and study. So like books and practice exams, which are going to cost you around $100 to $125. So the whole system thing, I mean, expect to be around $1,000 to $1,500. But that'll give you a good radio system that will allow you to, keep on communicating when power's down and things like that.
And I'll bet you could spend much more than that too and just get like an insanely good setup,
Just a spinning satellite like the government uses.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
No, that's great. I like that. Radios, communications, man, they're so important. Again, back to this water issue, man. Gosh dang it, we all got to drink so
I
much.
can't remember if we put this on there.
Yeah, you have to drink so much. And so how do you get that much friggin' water? And there's a lot of different ways to do it. But one of the ways, there's free water that comes from the sky pretty frequently, depending on where you live.
Seen it.
I've seen it too. We don't
Once
see
in
it
a while here.
We don't see it much here, but it's free. It's abundant in many places. So why not build a system that catches the rain catchment system, right? The problem is if you go for like a pre-configured system, they are not cheap. And
I've never looked at these.
No, I haven't much either, but I know that there's ways to do this cheaper, that you could just piece together a system that's probably going to be sufficient that you can get some more water. But I went and looked at, because if I do it, I don't want it to be a hassle. I want to be able to just buy the system and install it and make sure it works and I've got what I need, right? So I went for the full pre-configured above ground system and it was like $2,500.
Is this primarily to use for drinking?
Yes.
Not just for
Not just
around
for whatever.
the house.
Yeah. So that was like a 305 gallon system above ground. $2,500.
Wow.
So that's a lot of water, though. You know what I mean? And again, you're replenishing that
Restoring,
water.
yeah.
You can get a 2,100 gallon system that's going to run you about $5,000. $5,000. So, like I said, you could probably piece together the components and do it for
What
much
does that
cheaper.
all consist of? Just like
You get catch systems,
all your
like
different
for your gutters and
and
different
stuff. Okay.
things, and then there's a whole bunch of
My
stuff. to
gutters
it.
don't work.
Don't they?
I think I crawled up there last year for lights, and I was like, man, there's like 4 inches of
Sludge in 'em.
sediment.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy crap!
Yeah, man. Mine work really good in the front. That's why my freaking
Floods your
floods
basement
my
window.
basement, so I have to make sure that I take it
Mine
somewhere
are
else.
apparently working. I see them like when it's raining.
Spewing out
But
water.
I'm like,
Yeah.
holy crap! I should clean those out.
So, anyways, rain catchment. That's a great pricey.
That would be
product,
cool.
though. Mhm.
That would be cool to have.
Yeah.
Electric bike. So I know some of you are hardcore peddlers, and I'm not talking about salesmen. But you're like, man, I'll just go with pedal on a bike. That's awesome, and it's probably the better way to go. But I'm a fat turd, and listen, if I'm gonna have to go back and forth to town on something other than a vehicle, I'm gonna want some electric assistance.
Dude, electric bikes are fun too.
They're super awesome.
They're
man.
fun. They're fun to ride.
Super awesome.
Yeah.
But they're pricey.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
They vary.
I mean, you could get some cheaper ones.
You can.
Like my wife's mom has a cheaper
16
one.
D batteries in it.
Yeah, exactly. Uh-huh.
But I don't even know how long those batteries are going to last.
I don't know.
But I've wanted to try one. I'm like, maybe I'll get a cheaper
Yeah,
one.
my wife's mom has one. You should try it.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Where'd you get it from?
I don't know.
Okay.
Store.
Yeah. I think Walmart has some
I'll have
too.
to ask her.
So I'm curious of how long and how good those.
But my
batteries
kids
are.
drive it all the time between our house and hers.
Oh, really?
And that's like 2 miles.
Yeah,
It
man,
works
they're
great.
they're sweet. So prices can vary hugely. There's like 1,500 up to like 15,000 or more. I mean, you can go up to like 50,000 for
that's
some of
mooey
those
money.
electric. Yeah, that's a lot of money.
I'd buy a motorcycle at that point.
The average is like around 5,000 for a good
Okay.
mountain bike style.
Yeah.
Like one with racks and stuff like
And
that.
those are getting really popular for hunting too.
They're
Like-
getting way popular.
like
Yeah,
really
they're
popular
Big
for
old
hunting.
fat tires that kind of can
Yeah.
quietly move around the forest.
Yep.
It's a good idea.
It is.
But for a prepper, these would be awesome. And I'd love to have them for this reason. You can get some, with racks, front or full suspension. I don't know how to say this. Baku?
Baku. Yeah, those are
Are
actually
they from Utah?
those are like made for hunting too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baku. They
Baku.
they have a pedal assist. You can get from 10 to 50 miles on these things, depending on how much you use the power. If you're pedaling and using the throttle, the range is like more like 3 to 5 miles. Yeah, or if you're not pedaling, sorry.
Yeah.
If you're just fully using the throttle, you only get about 3 to 5 miles. Other brands, Sur-Ron Black Edition. This thing's pretty sweet. Like it kind of looks a little more dirt bike-ish.
Oh, okay.
It's about $3,600.
Wow.
Top speed 45. Get about 40 miles of range.
That's pretty good, man.
But this is a little more aggressive. Like
Yeah.
this is going to be more agile and kind of get you around. It's a little bit more than like a bicycle look.
That would
but
be so much fun. I want one so bad.
It'd be so sweet.
I want one.
Ubco 2x2 is about $6,000 top speed 30, 75 mile range.
Wow, 75 miles.
Yeah. Recon bikes are probably one that fits kind of the prepper style.
Okay.
They have a lot of power and torque. They can pull a little trailer. They have like a nice LCD, the LCD display that links up with like your phone and things like that.
Oh,
So they're
cool.
just a lot fancier.
Yeah.
25 to 30 mile per hour, miles per range, up to about 50 miles, depending on how much you use it. You can also get a pretty sweet like single tire. Have you seen those little trailers that hook up to the bikes? They have a one tire in the back.
Yeah.
Pretty heavy duty too, and you could pack a lot of stuff in them for about $350. So, you're looking at about $6,500 for a whole setup that you can pack a whole bunch of stuff on, and it's just battery powered. Pretty cool, and it's
Wow.
super quiet. There's some dirt bike models I wanted to mention. Segway actually makes one. 46 mile per hour.
That's too fast.
74 mile range.
too fast,
It's 121 pounds. It's about $6,500.
121 pounds?
Yeah, they're like these are like dirt bike models.
Yeah, I was going to say, these must be like dirt bikes.
So KTM makes one, a free ride. It goes 50 miles per hour. It has about an 11-mile range,
Oh, geez.
245 pounds, and it's
Jeez.
11,000. It's
Wow.
a dirt bike. It's
Yeah,
a
it's a
full-on like
dirt bike.
motorcycle,
Yeah.
which would be pretty cool if you lived in the mountains or if you had
Sure.
the B Sur-Ron X, top speed 45, 60, 110 pounds. It's $4,400. And have you ever seen the Vulcan Grunt?
No.
So
haven't.
it's like a mini Big Wheel or a mini Fat Cat. Has
Oh,
these
okay.
huge
I
tires.
think
You've
maybe I have
probably seen it.
I think I've seen it.
Pretty cool looking little bike, but it has a 100-mile range.
Sounds like a special move in like a video game or something.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the Vulcan grunt
It
for my
does.
finishing move.
A B
A,
A
forward,
B
forward.
up down.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Vulcan Grunt. 60 mile per hour, 100-mile range, $6,000. I think they're made in Texas.
Wow.
Pretty cool looking
That's
little
way cool.
bike. It's just a little fat hog looking thing. So anyway,
Nice.
those are. I would like to have an electric bike of
I would
some
too,
sort.
man.
'Cause it'd be really nice.
And along with an electric bike, you think about that as some sort of maybe a bug out, route transportation. So what about just a fully loaded bug out vehicle?
Yeah.
It's a dream, but good gracious, can this get pricey? It's so expensive. You can go cheap, but is that better? I don't know. Maybe you have the money and you just want to go freaking balls to the wall and you want to get like a fully loaded bug out vehicle. So there's actually a company out of Utah. Well, they're based out of Utah and I think Arizona. They're called Plan B Supply. Cam and I
We've wanted to go we've talked to them at the PrepperCon and stuff.
Yeah, but they build like these Hummers. That's their specialties. They build these Hummers out for like SHTF bug out
Like
vehicles.
military Hummers.
Yes.
Not the
Yeah, it's not like the H3
Humvee.
that
or the H3. Yeah, that's what it is.
this is like a straight up freaking military Hummer. So they have a lower price, like their lowest price basic Hummer is like $48K.
And
Right.
I would love that.
Oh gosh, they look awesome.
Yeah.
They look fantastic. This is like the basic, the no frills Hummer. But if you go, they have one called the Ricochet, $278,000. Like it's a home. It's the price of a freaking home, a cheap home, but yeah, a home these days. $278,000 is a cheap home.
I wonder if that was like the blue one at the thing. You remember
I don't
it had
know.
a trailer on it, had all the gas cans around the outside.
It was insane.
Sweet looking truck.
So I think it's the Ricochet. So it has an armored hardtop. It has a roof turret.
Oh, yeah.
Has a cargo box, winch, brush guard, LED light bar, a snorkel, lift kit, 37-inch tires, bulletproof windows.
Ultimate.
Oh, it's got like everything. So, like, there's so many different options here. You could, like, a bug out vehicle obviously could be something different to everybody. But those ones are ones that are specifically built for that type of thing, for surviving SHTF. And boy, can you go nuts. And I'm sure there's some out there that are even more expensive because we saw some
I'd love
at
to do that.
PrepperCon a few years ago that looked like those, like, vehicles from Star Wars. Do you remember that thing? It was gigantic. It looked like a
little trash
the
thing.
trash vehicle. Yeah, man, so insane.
It was like touching the ceiling in that building. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was nuts. But anyways, lot of different options here, but it's very pricey pretty much any way you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I would love a nice
Mm-hmm.
fully decked built for bugging out.
It'd be so much fun.
Maybe you just want to stay on the water.
Yeah.
Maybe you live on the coast or a big lake and you're just like, that's probably one of the safest places to be. You
Kinda
just get
could be.
away from everything and everybody. But you got to have a really nice, well-built boat. So
You do.
a survival boat would be sweet.
Ooh.
Now, if you Google survival boats, like half the time it's like a kayak.
Yeah, I
with
know.
like a little netting on the back. I'm like, no. I'm
not what I
talking about
want.
like a yacht, like a full size, something you live on day in, day out. There's a couple of companies out there that build some that are a little more specific to like being really durable and powerful. Life proof boat. They actually make a lot for like Coast Guard and things like that. They say they are like literally unsinkable.
You know, they said that about the
They
Titanic
did.
too.
They did.
So
Exactly. But like this is an example. You can buy one in Washington right now. Like somebody's selling one, 35-foot, fully loaded, one cabin, all the bells and whistles, about $650,000.
Yikes.
So this has a forward sleeper cabin with a full head, a cozy salon, and a comfortable aft deck.
Salon?
Yeah. I don't know what that's all about.
Okay.
Driving this boat, you get two twin 425 horsepower. The boat breeze with twin Yamaha 425 horsepower outboards.
Yeah.
A bow thruster, joystick. I don't know what all. I'm not a boat person. I don't
Johnson
know.
rods.
Yes.
Galore.
This vessel has sun protection, dinghy rack, diesel heater.
I got a dinghy rack
Got
too.
a diesel heater. That'd be sweet.
Dinghy.
Upgraded driver. I think it's a 300. Yeah, I got a dinghy rack too.
Got one at home.
An upgraded driver suspension seat, adjustable footrest, microwave, refrigerator, 2 sinks, wash downs, transom walkthrough.
They're just making up words
yeah,
now.
rooftop hatch, 2 ladders. It also comes with, they are seriously standard 1 kilometer transducer or 1 cam. I don't know what that is, as well as a chirp transducer,
Yeah.
AIS receiver, VHF. 3 chart plotter screens.
VHS.
Somebody's like wetting their pants right now. Like, dang, and I have no idea what any of
3 VHS machines.
and
one Betamax.
and a fusion stereo.
Oh, of course. You got a fusion stereo.
Yeah. Basic models of this same company, they run around $250,000.
Wow.
Boats cost a lot,
Yeah, they do.
and you just hope it's ready to go. And
But
you're
they
not
always
pulling-
say, like, the 2 best days of owning a boat are the day you buy it and the day
Yeah.
you sell it.
and I can see how that would go.
Yeah.
I'm trying to open this link. Here's before I open this. There's this. Have you ever seen the Giga Yacht? That's a nuclear powered.
I've heard of it. I've heard the name.
It looks insane.
Yeah.
It has this huge globe like that sits on the back side of it. Anyways, if you want the ultimate survival boat,
Yeah.
how about a nuclear powered one? Like
It's
that would
gotta
be amazing.
Yeah.
They actually have built this thing.
That's got a fusion something.
yeah, something. They got a
Fusion
real
powered engine.
it's doing real fusion
Yeah.
energy there. 13-story science sphere.
13
that's
story.
sitting. It's huge, dude. It's called the Earth 300. Ugly name.
Uh-huh.
Earth 300. Couldn't even go 360 on that.
Yeah.
Is actually a revolutionary exploration vessel designed to investigate climate change and other challenges that face our planet.
Sure.
the founder. It's a yacht that's 300 meters. And it
300 meters,
dude. It's bigger than the Titanic.
Good Lord.
It is a huge freaking boat. And if you want it, or you considered maybe buying it, it's 500 to 700 million, I think they estimate. So it's not bad.
That's a little out of my range.
So there's another little company that builds.
Oh yeah, it is goofy looking.
Yeah, see how weird it looks?
There's two different versions I'm seeing here, but they're both goofy looking.
It looks like it would sink pretty quick.
Weird.
So this one is called Sovereign Ships. Is it Sovereign Ships? Yeah.
Yeah.
These are really interesting. Like they look like just a floating
indoor garden greenhouse thing.
Yeah.
It's weird because this guy just emailed us like this week.
Yeah. So I hadn't had a lot of time to like look at it, but I'll tell you what some of these features, they are pretty cool if you look at them. So you can go to sovereignships.com.
.co.
Oh, is it .co?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. And they are solar electric yachts with interior gardens.
Yeah.
So they are made to just kind of float forever, and you just kind of grow stuff. You live inside them.
Mm-hmm.
They're super simple, apparently, to kind of, I don't even know if you navigate. You just float around.
It's just, you go with wherever the breeze takes you, man.
Yeah. I was trying to look at some of the little features here.
They got a bunch of different models, too.
They look super weird. They look like a space pod that just got dropped in the ocean.
One of them is like, it's shaped like a UFO, and that's what, like, they made it as like a UFO kind of thing.
Their pop-up. Join their mailing list is driving me
I know,
insane.
every time you come down, huh?
But yeah, so solar powered, you've got a little motor, and you've got a little greenhouse all around it. And there's so many different models of these. These are pretty cool. Did you see a price?
No,
on
there's
these?
no prices.
I think you have to like contact them and you'll get emailed the rest of your life and never buy one.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming you're probably looking into the 100,000 range.
Oh, easy.
So,
Easy.
anyways, but a ship, I think that would be a pretty exciting thing.
Yeah, for
obviously, people that know what they're doing are probably going to go this route.
For sure.
Could be a safer route, but super expensive.
Yeah. It's not going to be cheap.
If you have a lot of money, that's the way to do it.
So we talk about survival kits all the time. You know, we talk about 72-hour kits. We talk about bug out bags and all those types of things. But sometimes you just want the good stuff. You want the high-end survival kits, and they make them. Boy, there's
Without
some out
putting
there.
It all together.
Yeah, you just buy it ready to go, right? So there's one called bless you.
Excuse me.
There's one called the Prepster Black Luxury Survival Kit. Now, the link I had showed this thing at $5,000. But when I went and Googled it again and I found it somewhere else, it was at $425. So I don't know if they had a version before or if it's two different versions or whatever it is. But basically, this Prepster kit is a two-person emergency kit. And it has pretty much everything to get you through 3 days. So it's like a two-person bug-out bag, but just like ready to go.
Cut that price down a little bit.
Yeah, so this says, our heavy-duty metal-framed bags are made in Los Angeles. So if you want your bag made in Los Angeles, this is the place to go.
Absolutely.
From water-resistant canvas and leather. It's equally as tough as it is handsome. That's why it comes with a lifetime guarantee. So they actually do look really nice, and that's kind of the thing. They're like, don't hide your kit in the
classy,
closet. Yeah,
preppers.
Don't hide your kit in your closet or the garage. Keep it in the room that you live in, and that's safer because you have it there all the time. You can just grab it and go, right?
So you want it to look nice.
Yeah, so in addition to food and water, which has 5-year shelf life, you're going to...
So it's just an ottoman. You flip it up, it's got straps.
Exactly.
And you head out.
Yeah, it's like one of those big love sacks in the corner, but it has straps on the back. Yeah. Love sack on your back.
Oh, man, I like that.
It's not bad, huh? But it has like really high-end stuff, like nice crank radios and flashlights. It has, let's see, a
subscription to Kim Kardashian for 2 years.
Malin and Goats Gets essential kit, which has body cleanser, face cleanser, vitamin E face moisturizer, vitamin B5 body moisturizer, shampoo and conditioner. It has toothbrush, toothpaste, first aid kit, multi-tools and whatnot. What was some of the other things?
It was like a Kanye bag.
It is really. Hand warmers, premium chocolate bar, just in case. You gotta
What's
have
that?
It's premium. It's just really good chocolate.
It's just Hershey's.
Kusmi tea, perfect for hot or cold brewing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Tube tent for a quick shelter. It also can be used as a tarp and a dry bag. Face mask, preppy candles. What else was in here? Poker cards, stainless steel hip flask. So man, lots of good stuff in this thing.
Super
but it's like
fancy.
$500. It's $500. But interestingly enough, we just received the Rhino Ready Companion pre-made kit. This one is honestly, it's super nice. Cam has it right there. He can
It's
take it
a
out and look at
two-person
it if he wants. Yeah, it's 2-person. So this thing runs you about $300. But honestly, it's nice. Like we've had it in our hands. We've used it.
Oh, that's heavy.
It's legit, man. It's like a 2-person 72-hour kit. It comes with a full tang blade and sheath, magnesium ferro rod, multi-tool notebook, zip ties, paracord. But they're all sort of in like these nice little pouches.
I do like that.
You
I
know,
like how it's organized.
And basically the whole back of
And it
the
labels like what's in them and what they're for.
and the whole back of the bag is Velcro, and each one of those pouches is Velcro on the back, so you can just stick them in. Really, really interesting.
It's like a
kit.
box, like a leather box bag, and then like I like it kind of modular.
Yeah, super nice pack. It's fire resistant. It's 1200D microhex, waterproof construction.
See how fire resistant.
Yeah, Hypalon attachment points, modular components. Anyways, really, really cool. This is the Rhino Ready Companion. I'm gonna try and do a video on it soon, but really interesting for like $300. So if you got a lot of money and you want to like gift somebody, you know, the gift of preparedness, this is a great way to do it. In like some people
Flashy.
Some people are like, I don't want to deal with all that stuff. You give them this, and at least they have something to get them through for 3 days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
One of our favorite ones that we've actually used is Gata Pack. They put together a really good bag.
They have a nice one,
That one's
too.
way more affordable.
It is, yeah, for sure. So anyways, those are some pre-made
I can't believe
kits.
that one is like the LA.
I know.
Like,
yeah. It's pretty
preppy
funny.
bag. So, and the last thing is, and so we did an episode on this. This was episode 124, Mega Rich Preppers.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you just want to rent out space in the nicest prepper bunker you can get. Like, and they have these, and you can do it. So, Vivos, I think that's what it is. Or
Vivos, yeah.
Europa 1, and then they actually have a system in South Dakota too. And we've shown you those little bunkers. 2,500 square feet. It costs you about $2 million for a private apartment for two, and then the semi-private ones. I don't know what that all entails. About $35,000.
$35,000, like that's really not as bad.
No, to be set up in one of these bunkers. And the thing is, this group supposedly will come pick you up and take you to the bunker.
Yeah,
and then they have guards, and it's all like monitored. So about as safe as you can be. If they don't just give up on you.
That's what I worry about.
It's like the whole country's in chaos. Like they're going to go to their families, right?
Or
bring them in, and I'd be like, I'm done.
Or you got to bring in people who just don't have families.
Yeah.
And those people are probably ex-cons or something.
I'm just like I don't really know what would motivate them to like go out of their way.
How much money you give them?
Up. That's
you got to give them a lot
but
of money.
But even money, if it starts to become like, it's not going to be important. Anyway, but pretty cool. Like
556.
Yeah, exactly.
Pay you in bullets.
And then I actually mentioned the Rising S as well. They're ones that will build your own luxury bunker onto your house or under the ground near your house.
Yeah.
Can go from 40 to 14 million, 40,000 to 14 million.
Wow.
And then Atlas missile silos.
Those
They've been
cool.
converting these into like sections of rented space. Pretty cool episode. That was fun to talk about that one.
Fun.
So episode 124, you should check that out. The Mega Rich Preppers. It has all kinds of like breakdown of apartments and like all these different places.
Yeah, it's insane.
But if you want to go all out and you just don't want to do any of this yourself, just book your night stay for the apocalypse with one of these companies.
That's beautiful.
So anyway,
that's it. That's our Pricey Preps, guys. There's a whole bunch of stuff in there for you guys to put on your list and start saving. Start putting a little money away.
Start showing your spouse this is what you want for Christmas.
This is what you want.
One
and
of
what
these.
You need.
Just, doesn't matter.
No.
You can pick from any of these on here.
Any of them.
They're gonna get you the they're gonna get you the osmosis filter.
Most likely.
Dang it.
Guys, today's podcast is brought to you by Tac Pack, the only monthly tactical subscription box with useful, professional grade stuff inside. Use our code Casual Preppers. You're gonna get a free $70 machine-made part from Next Level Armament. And guys, we have the latest Tac Pack. Why don't we look at it right now, Cameron?
The tax man.
Yeah. Just came in. Just hot off the presses,
The card's at the very bottom. This is inconvenient.
Yeah, it is. All right, so with the latest one, we have the Battle Arms Development Gas Block. You got to have one of those.
I wish I had one of those.
Yeah.
Now I do.
It'll fit under the majority of handguards made, so that's kind of cool.
Yes,
And then we have the Battle Arms Development Micro Hand Stop as well.
There we go.
And then we have the Luth AR Thick Grip, the chubby grip.
Look at
Got that.
shovel grip.
That's right. Then we have the Decibels Custom Shape Ear Pro. Got that in there. Yep. And we have the Mechanics Gloves Fast Fit. They fit fast. Then we have the Vet TV Flyer. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either.
I'll have to look at that one. And then we have...
Got robbed.
Did we get extra? We got something extra. Oh, no. We got the rail. Yeah. We're in the plus. We have the plus now. So we got the Cross Machine
They
Tool
have a
Rail.
Plus now.
$142 value.
Yeah, these guys are amazing at
Booyah.
getting you the best for the price.
I also wanted to mention we just received the Pro 1 filter. So this is a gravity-fed in-home system that you can just like put on your countertop. I just put out a video on our Instagram this morning.
Oh, I didn't see that.
So you can check it out. It's a really cool little gravity-fed filter, and their filters do up to like 1,000 gallons. So it's nice to have in the house, just to give you a little extra. And then also, we just got the Fortress clothing.
Oh, yeah, we need to go.
We're going to go use those here in the next couple of weeks and test them out.
It's pretty fancy stuff. Like,
oh my gosh.
I picked it up at Covey's and put the sweater on and drove home, and I was like hot in my car.
It's nice because they gave us the base layer stuff. So this is the stuff that you wear underneath everything. And man, it's super warm. I can't wait to get it out.
It fits well.
It fits well. I can't wait to get it out in the cold weather and test it because I'm always looking for stuff that is super warm but isn't like crazy bulky.
Right. I don't like to have a huge coat that's like 17 inches thick, you know?
Nah.
Then you're snagging it on barbed wire fences.
Yep,
you don't
it's
want
horrible.
that.
So check out Fortress Clothing. We're going to talk more about them. We're going to talk more about the Pro 1 filter. And then we also are going to talk more about the Rhino Ready pack. Really cool stuff there as well. Right? Anything else, Cam, before we get going?
No, that's it.
That's it.
Stay safe out there.
Stay safe. Have a really good Thanksgiving. Also, make sure Black Friday, our brand new shirts come out. So look for that. You're going to want to get one for you and everybody else in your life. We're also going to have women's shirts. So that's super exciting. All right, guys. Thanks and stay survived.